to show you. I want to show you the progressive opportunity here. They are not willing for all of their hard work to go away. They have made the choice. You are going to have this, and they put all the framework in there to control you. Now, the party of hope has been Van Jones and Barack Obama, and this is what he's telling you about the upcoming election. Here it is.
This election is feeling more fear-based, and what we got to realize is that can also support us, because if you think things are bad now, what will happen when the people who are screaming and yelling at these Tea Party events are actually in charge of your government, and actually in charge of your life, and in charge of your kids' future? That is, maybe you may have some hope fatigue, but you got a lot of reason to be fearful enough, I think, to stay involved and to get involved. I don't think you want the Tea Party running your community, running your family, running your government.
I don't want them to run my family. I don't want them in charge of my children. I don't want the government in charge. We are. That is the American ideal. Most of the media will focus on how he's resorting to fear, if they focus on this at all. But did you notice the scenario that he is pointing out is a world where the Tea Party is in charge of your life, in charge of your kids' future? No. That is the difference. Get out of my life. Get out of my bedroom. Get out of my garbage. Get out of my garage. Get out of my kids' life. Get out of my workplace. Get out. Progressives have the idea that they know better. And when you don't take the carrot that Cass Sunstein dangles out, well, then it's back to the drawing board and it becomes a shove. History has shown us that a shove is what comes next. Friday night, a friend of mine, Vince Flynn, the author, he called me up and he said, hey, I'm in town, you want to have dinner? And so our wives and I, Vince and I went out, and we talked about revolutions. And yeah, I know you envy me and our dinner conversation. Our wives were crying by the end of it. Anyway, we were talking about how there's commonality. In almost every major revolution, in the end, when their power starts to slip, that's when the killers show up. In 1973 in Chile, Pinochet, he led a coup d'etat ending the socialist government's rule. Political opponents were treated harshly. The National Stadium was used as a clearinghouse for prisoners. And when I say clearinghouse, tens of thousands were tortured. As many as 3,000 were executed. I mean, I could go on with the stories. I could show them to you in France. I could show them to you in Germany. I could show them to you in Russia, Cuba, everywhere. It happens over and over again. And the reason why I bring this up is because an update of the assassination list story. Now, remember this story? It came out a while back, and comments from the NSA chief, John Brennan, jumped out to me, and we reported on these comments. Listen.
There are, though, in my mind, dozens of U.S. persons who are in different parts of the world that are very concerning to us.
Okay. He's talking about American citizens not having a fair trial, no due process, only on the word of the president to be executed, assassinated. Now, here's what I said about the story at the time. Watch. There are allegedly dozens of Americans on this hit list who pose a threat to the United States. Gee, I wonder if I'm on it. Okay, when I said that, we had a leftist blogger in the audience who said, Glenn Beck is completely nuts, and I'm going to prove him wrong. Did they? Nope. They filed a Freedom of Information Act request back in May. And here's part of the response that they received from the CIA. The answer is, no, that's not happening. But here it is. The response is, our record systems are not configured in a way that would allow us to perform a search reasonably calculated to lead to responsive records. Therefore, we must decline to process your request. The CIA can't search their records? That's what you came up with? The people with the rubber mat, that's it? That's not helpful. We contacted the CIA. They responded to us saying that me being on the list is absurd. Okay, great. But can you tell me about the rest of the list? Because this ain't about me. I really don't think I'm on the assassination list. Right? If they wanted to kill me, Cass Sunstein would just, come up with a new government regulation called, I don't know, cash for fried foods. I'd be dead in a week. The ACLU and the Center for Constitutional Rights went after this information. They were stonewalled by the White House. Where is the media on this? No president in American history has had American citizens on an assassination list. We do not assassinate American citizens. I don't care how ugly they are. I don't care what monsters they are. They're citizens. They have rights. I can't believe I actually have to point that out on national TV, but apparently I do, because nobody else will. Find it in the Constitution that an American citizen without due process can be targeted for execution by the President of the United States. It doesn't exist. But these people don't care what's in the Constitution. We're moving past the Constitution. Well, where do they get their power? Where's the limit on the power? The reason you don't hear all of this is because the three branches of government has failed, and the fourth branch has also failed, the media. That is why you must stand up. You must stand for personal responsibility. You must stand for the Constitution. Mr. President, show me your friends and I will show you your future. Your friend, Bill Ayers, the book that he wrote, dedicated to Sirhan Sirhan. Sirhan Sirhan. Now, for those who don't know who this guy is or what he did, he's just the guy who assassinated Robert F. Kennedy. We don't celebrate assassins. We understand that any killing of American citizens without due process is not an assassination. It doesn't matter if Sirhan Sirhan did it or the President of the United States. It is the same. Under our Constitution, it is cold-blooded murder. Make the choice, America.